Hey guys, it's Jessica here. 2 days ago, I uploaded a video on my channel sharing my thoughts about the trending issue of hashtag cancel Korea in the Philippines. There were various reactions in the comments. Some were negative, some were very positive, and I would like to thank you guys for your genuine heartfelt comments. I really appreciate it. So this issue was also featured on Korean media as well, starting from yesterday. So I thought that why not share with you guys how the Korean netizens are reacting to this issue, just so I can give you a broader perspective. I translated some of the news articles' headlines along with the comments, the top comments that was posted under those articles. So please excuse me reading them on my phone right now. Most of the headlines of this issue were quite similar. They mostly quoted the particular comment that you guys might have encountered in various medias, which is this comment. And I'm going to be skipping the content of these articles because it's basically what you guys all know of already. If you're unfamiliar with this issue, please check out my previous video where I gave you a brief summary of this issue. So let's get started with the first headline. Not knowing how the Philippines helped during the Korean War, the rising online clash between Korea and the Philippines. And this quotation would be from one of the Filipino netizens. Going through the comments now, the first one is, "It's only right that you, the hate commenter, apologize. Who are you to disgrace the whole country of Korea? Korean netizens, please don't put up unreasonable posts without thinking. Thirdly, I apologize on behalf of those who are disparaging the Philippines. We are not ungrateful people. Please understand that it's only a very small group of people who express negative emotions. Most Koreans think that Filipinos are our brothers who shed blood for us. I will educate my children and their children to remember how Filipino soldiers in early 20s shed blood by fighting for our country, which was extremely unfamiliar." That is right. I also mentioned this in my previous video, and history should never ever be forgotten. It should always be remembered. It should be honored. An apology is a must. So the apology to Filipinos who got offended. But is there any news about that person with Korean ID? Apparently, there are foreign netizens in Korea whose goal is to belittle Korea through commenting. Isn't there a need to investigate on this issue as well? Even if foreigners acquire Korean citizenship, they should not be using a Korean ID. For those who are confused on what this comment or where this comment is coming from, I can tell you previously there have been many incidents where foreigners pretend to be Korean on internet media and belittle Korea, disparage Korea to create conflict and anger and, all sorts of fight. Moving on to the second article, the headline goes, "Cancel Korea, Wrath." A Korean's comment that jolted the Philippines. First comment goes, "They should stay quiet." So they are referring to those rude Korean netizens because Bella has apologized and said she will enlighten others about it too. Why make a fuss? There are so many frustrating people. That is so true. There are so many frustrating people. If we respect them, they will respect us. Moving on to the third article, "Short and uneducated. A Korean netizen's attack provokes hashtag cancel Korea movement in the Philippines. The netizens who make such comments should apologize. I'm sorry to the Filipino people. There are crackpots in Korea too. Thanks to Bella for apologizing and thank you for loving Korean culture." So thank you to those Filipinos who love Korean culture. Again, to those who got hurt from such a rude comment, I'm sorry. Was there a need to turn this into a big deal internationally just because of a short English comment? Quickly delete that, a hate comment, instead of mocking Korea on an international scale. So as you can see, there are also various reactions on Korean media, but the most common and general reaction is that they feel truly sorry and they are very embarrassed. Next headline goes, "Pitiful country with short and uneducated people. Koreans' comment provokes the Philippines." First one, I'm sorry. In any country, there are always some people who embarrass our country through rude words and actions. Who is that? You must apologize. You should always try to put yourself in the other's shoe. Plus, that TikToker, Bella, even stated that she would remove the tattoo. Yeah. This was something that I was very touched about as well. The problem is with a few people who lack knowledge. The Philippines is not a small country. We owe them lives and blood. of the soldiers who sacrificed during the Korean War, and he or she, the hate commenter, seems to be reacting to it without being conscious of the truth or the reality. Racial and national origin-based discrimination is like cutting off your nose to spite your own face. That is right, it all goes back on you. Next, is there a need to make one person's comment go viral? The Philippines dispatched troops to Korea during the Korean War. We are grateful. If she, Bella, has acknowledged her action, you all hate commenters should stop. Moving on to the last article that I prepared for this video, the headline goes, "Why the Cancel Korea movement is happening in the Philippines. The attitude and words of denigrating the citizens of other country must be cancelled. If you want to be respected, respect others too. I know that the Philippines is a country that dispatched 5th most soldiers among the 16 countries that participated in the Korean War. Just because Korea has a slightly more advanced economy does not mean those thoughtless trash," so that person is referring to the hate commenters, "can make such disgraceful assertions. I am ashamed beyond measure." Last comment we're looking at goes, "Don't forget, the Philippines is a country of great help when we were super poor." When I encountered this Cancel Korea issue on Korean media, I was honestly very afraid to look at the comment section if people were, fighting and throwing very harsh words to each other again, and how it really just becomes a fight. But I was really thankful and relieved how many people showed such positive and matured reaction and response. Of course, I cannot mitigate the scars and pain that you received from this incident, but I still hope that we all learned something. We all learned a lesson from this issue all together for both Korea and the Philippines, and I hope to continue to make positive connection with each other. For those who don't know me, I've lived in the Philippines for about a total of 9 years. I studied there, I graduated my high school there, I have lots of memories there, and I wouldn't be the me of now without the Philippines. The Philippines is really the part of my identity and my personality. And at the same time, I also come from a Korean background. So I have a deep affection for both countries, and I really hope that we are healed eventually and spread love and be in peace. All love here, guys, all love. Alright guys, so that was it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!